Hey guys, I know I have some pretty big game collectors subscribed to my channel, so I wanted to see if any of you could kind of help me figure out a little bit more about what I have here. More or less what this is it's a Korean version of Megaman X4 for the PC. It's meant to be run on Windows 98. I tried it on a Windows 7 machine and you can get it to work and it works pretty well. As far as the game goes, it's exactly the same as the English version that we had on PlayStation, and I'm not sure if it was on any other consoles, but it's pretty much Mega Man X4 as you would have seen it as far as the game goes. But the fact that it's a PC port is a little bit strange because this wasn't released on PC outside of South Korea. As far as I know, I'm pretty sure it was on consoles everywhere else. I think it might have something to do with the fact that I believe in Korea there was some kind of political problems with Japan, so Japanese companies couldn't really market their products. And since Capcom, of course, is a Japanese product, I'll just zoom in there. You can see it's got a Capcom branding on the bottom. I think they had to go through this company right here, which is called SsangYong, to kind of market their products. And the only thing I can find about this company when I look up SsangYong on Google is that there's a car company called SsangYong that uses this logo. So I'm kind of thinking this is similar to like Nintendo. Back when they tried to release the NES, they had to call it I think the Super Convoy or something in Japan, and they had to market it through a particular car company in Korea. I can't remember exactly what it is. I think it was maybe Hyundai or Honda, whatever the Korean ones are. You know, I don't have it off the top of my head, but I figured I would just show you guys what this nice package is here. It's really impressive with what you get. You get this whole nice little dust cover here with this kind of like raised Mega Man X4 logo. And you see you got Mega Man here and some of the other characters, Zero and all. And the inside, pretty much, I'll try to zoom in and give you as good of a view as possible. As you can see, the majority of this is in Korean. There's a few things in English, but that's kind of like how with Japanese, I guess maybe it's like things that they couldn't directly translate into Korean, so they have to leave it in English. So basically, there's some kind of description here. Looks like it shows you what some of the function keys would do. Then you have keyboard controls, but of course, like I said, everything is in Korean, so it's kind of difficult at first to figure out what each control does. Because when I got this game, it's when I had a Windows 98 computer, and basically the story of me getting this was I had a friend in my neighborhood who was South Korean, and he had a whole bunch of stuff like this, and when I'd go to his house, I thought it was awesome. You know, like anyone would, just because, you know, it's so unusual, and, you know, I was into video games, and so was he. And one year for my birthday, he just decided to give me this. I think he had 2 of these or something like that, and he knew I was a fan of this game. So I was really excited when I got it, because it's definitely rare. There's nothing anywhere on the internet about this or this whole series of games, really. The only thing I could kind of find was someone has, I think, a Resident Evil Code Veronica edition of, you know, similar to this with the SsangYong branding and kind of this whole series. I think, because as you can see, or maybe you can't, it's a SsangYong Premier Collection. So I believe there was a whole collection of games that was released in South Korea under this SsangYong, and then Joy Park also. Now this website, joypark.co.kr, is not registered anymore. So I've had no luck trying to find that. But I'll just give you guys another overview of what this whole package is, because like I said, it's really nice. I did try to do this once before on my channel, but I had a horrible camera then, and you really couldn't see it. It didn't do it justice. And since this thing is seemingly so uncommon, I wanted to give it a nice video. So here you have a nice character list. I'm assuming it's like a description of what your characters can do here. You have Mega Man Zero, Double, a couple other guys. I don't know why that guy hasn't been translated into English for whatever reason. Moving down here, It's got a sentence that says, "Real hero never escapes from war." That's not really like good English. I don't know what they're trying to get across there. But yeah, that's the inside of this dust cover here. Just flip it over. And the back, as I mentioned, they advertise this Joy Park company again. Website doesn't exist, really. Looks like just a description of the game, some screenshots. And then on the bottom you see Capcom and SsangYong, and then the specs for the PC. Basically just Windows 98. You don't really need anything advanced at all to run these games. I had a basic computer back then when I got this, probably like 10 years ago. I'm just looking for, yeah, it's got copyright of 2000 on here. So I probably got this maybe like 10 years ago, maybe a little bit before that. And as far as the actual game itself goes, the jewel case is a little bit messed up. It doesn't really hold the disc in place. And I'm doing this one-handed, so just give me 1 second here. Sorry. Okay, now as far as the jewel case goes, you just have the Megaman X4 art on the front that matches what was on the front of this dust cover here. And then when you open it up, there's not really much going on inside. This isn't like a manual or anything, it's just a one piece, kind of like how the European, I want to say European PS1 games kind of had like the big thick booklet, and they had like a album art that was separate. And then here is the CD-ROM, Megaman X4, just a basic CD-ROM, and then there's this nice picture in the clear jewel case. And there's not much else going on here. I'll close this and I'll show you the back side of it. And it's just yellow back. It's got the Joy Park and the SsangYong logo. And back to what I was saying, there's nothing online about this. I asked in a forum and I got no response. I looked up on Capcom's websites. I went on their forums for both. I tried my luck on the United States one, and then I moved over to some of the Asian ones, hoping somebody there could understand English. But I got no responses, regardless of that. So I was wondering if anyone knew anything about this South Korean edition of Megaman X4 for the PC. Anything about maybe this SsangYong Premier Collection, and what the deal is here, because also they have marked in several places, I don't think you'll be able to see too well, that this was for sale in Korea only. This wasn't intended to be sold anywhere else in the world, because obviously this was meant for consoles, this game. And that's why it kind of leads me back to the fact that it has something to do with the Japanese and Korean markets, because they didn't necessarily have consoles as popular. Like PlayStation, maybe they didn't have that in South Korea, or at least they weren't that common. And Capcom being a Japanese company, maybe it's similar to that whole thing with Nintendo. I'm not sure. This is kind of like me hoping that you guys can give me some info if you have any. And as far as that goes, thanks for watching the video. And sorry about not really having any real content on the YouTube channel. Just got done with school, and videos are going to start coming out now. It was kind of a busy year for me, so until next time, guys, thanks for watching my video.